Welcome to Soul Aligned Success Shifts that allow you to get what you want, whether that's something you want in your life, in your relationship, in your business, wealth-wise, it doesn't matter. This is all about you getting what you want, knowing that it is possible. However, there are always some success blocks that stop us from getting what we want, from pursuing it, that are not meant to consciously sabotage us. They are more patterns of self-protection. Okay, so we're going to address those by focusing on the shifts we can make to get more of what we want, to make the manifestation process a lot easier, more enjoyable, more flowy. Okay, and today I would like to talk about a success block that comes up for lots and lots of people. I would say it's probably, or used to be, the strongest one for me that I'm aware of to date. And it had a lot to do with loving to learn and loving to gain knowledge and to gain new skills and to practice them and to plan my next action steps, but never quite taking them. Okay, so I loved that process of gaining new knowledge and almost like trying to perfect the action I was planning to take without ever taking the action. So I wanted to, perfect everything, the whole A to B kind of journey, the whole transformation, without ever doing the steps, right? Because I guess the way we think about it is, if we can plan it perfectly, we can do it perfectly, and that means we never have to experience disappointments, frustrations, or worst of all, failure. Okay, so we can keep ourselves stuck in this space of non-achievement, right? Because in our minds we're preparing and we're planning and we're being proactive, right? Without taking the action, but we're only doing it because we tell ourselves that we can only take the action once we've figured it all out. But it holds us back from making moves that are necessary to get what we want, because that is a proactive process, right? Planning and perfecting and thinking about things, it's an internal process, it's a part of it. But we can't create something without actively doing things in real life, right? In the real world. So we have to learn to merge it. Now, the big mindset block that we have is that there is something we need to know before we can do something, and we have to figure out what that is so that we can do something, right? So we stop ourselves from taking action, from having experiences, from getting what we want by putting this condition in place, which is completely thought created. It isn't true. Because if you think about people, if you think about perfectionism, right? People who struggle with perfectionism, the biggest insight I've ever had around perfectionism, the biggest transformation I've ever helped clients who struggle with perfectionism have, is we think that we perfect something and then we do it. Studies have shown, right? Research has shown, science can give us data to prove that perfectionists perform worse than people who have a go and practice. Because what makes perfect? Practice. Practice makes perfect, right? It isn't thinking about it. It isn't strategizing. It is doing. Getting stuck in, getting messy, getting dirty, having a go, and failing and learning from that, from those experiences. I don't like to call it failing, but we all experience it as that. Well, most of us experience it as that. But really, failing is just part of the learning process. It's a learning experience where you didn't have the outcome you thought you were going to have, right? So it's just like a reality gap that we have to close and get used to so that we can move on. It's like, okay, this didn't work out. What does? Move on to the next bit. Okay, so we need to take action so we can learn new things, we can gather more information, we get more data that helps us to adjust the course of action. that we're taking. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just how it works, right? It's just how it works. Babies learn to walk by falling down, by crawling and doing all that stuff. It's just a natural process. It never stops to be that way. Whatever you want to master, you've got to learn it first, and that means you're not going to be perfect at it at first. And maybe never, right? Because what is perfect, in my opinion, perfection is figuring out how to do it your way, in a way that works for you, in a way that feels good, in a way that's soul aligned, right? And that's unique. So it's no good looking for perfection outside of yourself in terms of the right strategy, the right words, the right behavior, the right appearance, the right presentation, all that kind of stuff, because it's so unique. It's unique to you. You have to feel within yourself to figure out what works for you and what doesn't. Now, in terms of achieving success, right? So in your relationship, it might be attracting the right kind of partner, or to have more harmonious family get-togethers, or to get your dream home, or to, make a big career move, or to start your business, or take your business to the next level, or have, go from 5 to 6 figure months. It doesn't matter what you want, right? The goal is irrelevant. The journey is the same. So whatever it is you want, once you know how to do it your way, how to get things your way in a soul-aligned way, you can apply that to anything, and it gets really, really exciting and amazing, because all of a sudden nothing feels impossible anymore. All of a sudden the world opens up to all those, opportunities that are available to you. But we have got to make those success shifts. Okay, and I'm always trying to make them as practical as possible, as applicable as possible to what's going on in the real world, right? So this one is about taking action, going against your perfectionistic tendencies, because it is in the action that you learn more about yourself, more about the process, more about what you want, more about what works for you. So soul alignment is a proactive process that requires you to be consciously aware and open to what works for you, right? And what doesn't work for you. So you want to have uncomfortable experiences. You want to fail. You want to see where things aren't working, where there is friction or tension. So you know not to pursue that, to move into a different direction that feels easier, more aligned, more right for you. Okay? And a lot of the time also in our heads, when we're in our heads, we think, okay, I have to do step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I've achieved my goal. And we try to create in this vacuum of the mind, but it doesn't work that way. Because in real life, we have got the vision of what we want, and we take one step, and that step illuminates the next one. So it gets easier to move in that direction. Whereas if you try to create or achieve things in a vacuum, in the vacuum of your mind, you're missing so much information, because a lot of the time, the information you need to take the next step only becomes apparent as you take the first step, and then the next, and then the next, okay? Because you can see more, you're closer to it. It's the path of progress. And you need to give yourself the opportunity to learn how to do things the easy way for you. And doing things in a soul-aligned way is easy. It becomes simple. It becomes fun. It gets to be exciting. You get to achieve your goals. But it doesn't happen if you try to figure it all out in your mind, try to do it perfectly from whatever mind construct that comes, and only take action when you think you can do it perfectly. It's too much pressure. It's not realistic. You're not going to take those action steps. So that kind of illusion of needing to perfect something before you can do it stops you from achieving it. So your success shift is to take action, little and often, to build it up, to get more comfortable with taking action, with experiencing outcomes you didn't anticipate, expect, or want, and to move on, to move through them with more information, to almost like embrace it and welcome it, because you learn more from it, right? You get more information, more data to inform your next step, and it becomes a process that builds momentum, that builds excitement, that leads to more and more next level results. And ultimately, you are achieving what you want to achieve, right? You're having the success you want to have in any area of life, but you're doing it your way, and that's the perfect way. So I hope that this is helping you to kind of explore that in your own life, to evaluate your position on where you're standing and how you can shift into more soul-aligned success. Until the next time, with lots of love from me to you.